Good morning. Thank you for coming back to my second vlog. Today I'm here in Saitama on yet another mountain. A little less dramatic as the last one I was on, but just as steep. You'll find that about Japan, as the terrain is unforgivable. So if you want to get to some of these beautiful locations, you're gonna have to put in the work. It's okay though, I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, so I think what I'd like to say is thank you to everyone who has subscribed and followed me. That first video really did better than I could have imagined, and I only hope that these things get better, and I owe that to you. If you're going to subscribe and follow, hopefully the content will get a little better, and yeah, we continue to grow this channel and bring you some good content. Let's talk about today. Today I'm going to shoot a waterfall. Maybe could be an ice waterfall, but it's more of a record trip. I want to take a look at this area, see if I want to come back in the spring where there's a lot of green and moss to kind of highlight the mood and feel that I kind of like in my images. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today. I'm up here in Saitama, hoofing it up another mountain to see what we can find up here. Could be pretty interesting. I always like getting out to new areas because you never know, and I usually come away with some of my better images because they're kind of unplanned. So yeah, we'll see what we get into, and I'll take you along. All right, I'll see you at the top. All right, I've made it. It's kind of a grind. I didn't have the appropriate chains today to put on my feet, so it was kind of a grind to get up here. Now, as you can see over my shoulder here, this waterfall is probably more than I could have asked for. I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if water would be running. I knew that we'd had quite a bit of melt off, so should be running, but you never know. It's a roll of the dice. I'd never been here before, so you don't know. And the ice columns that are around the side of it, I mean, it just adds to it. So there's quite a few compositions I'm probably going to get after. I may start with the long lens. I probably will. I like to start further back from my subject, especially when it comes to a waterfall, and then work my way in. It seems like a lot of people will go right up there, get the wide angle shot, and be done with it. There's so many interesting details that can be pulled out if you kind of start from the back or further away and then work your way in. Kind of forces me to think outside the box when it comes to compositions. But there's these dead leaves on this brown tree that kind of contrast nicely against the white snow. I may try to incorporate that, and I've got a large old tree right here that definitely needs to be in the frame. So I'm gonna get out. It's like I'm a kid in the candy store right now. There's so many opportunities here. I'll probably be here for a few hours. I think the light, there's no clouds in the sky, but I think we're further enough in this canyon that I may be able to shoot for quite a while here before I get some harsh light on this snow and water. All right, next time you see me, I should be working you through a composition. All right. Okay, I'm in a quite precarious location. It's a little hard to hear because I'm right up against the waterfall, but I've got this really neat looking ice here. It's kind of all pointing towards the waterfall, so I'm trying to incorporate that into my scene. I know I was going to start back a little further, but the area is kind of closed due to all the snow down there, and it looks a little sketchy, so I'll work with what I got. If I can find something or somehow get down there in a little bit, I will. But I'm going to get up here and get close, I guess, and do what I said I don't like to do. You got to be able to adapt when you're out here sometimes. So hopefully you can hear me. If not, I'll get this image and I'll try to show it to you in the back of the camera, or I may just talk through it in the video. Alright, my mouth's frozen too, so it's getting a little hard to talk. All in all, this image isn't that great. Personally, I think it could have been a lot better. The atmosphere and the conditions were a little bit sketchy, and I just wasn't going to push it, being this is my first time here. I do like the foreground. I think it could have been great if I could have gotten over a little further to the left, but again, it was pretty dicey, so I just went with what I had. I was hand holding this, and I feel like it's a little soft in the background. Just full transparency, I did add the light on the left hand side, just to help try to balance this thing out and save it. But I'll be back to this location again to try this composition again. So I found my second composition, which is it's more of a abstract, and what I'm looking at here is these huge icicles that are formed on the side of this waterfall. You got the flowing water, then on the side the water's collected and made these gigantic icicles that are really neat, interesting, but also the way the icicles have formed, they've created cascading contoured lines that I'm going to try to highlight and pull together into a smaller, intimate, abstract image. So hopefully it'll work. I'll show you on the back of the camera what I'm looking at. So as you can see, there's this line that's kind of coming through here, and there's also one here kind of doing the opposite. And you got the huge icicles that are streaming down on each side, kind of balancing it out. At least to my eye, that's what's happening. I think it'll look pretty neat if well, it feels like it'll be neat. You never really know until you get home. So we'll take a look and see what else we can come with. I'm sure I'm going to shoot a few more intimate shots, and then kind of ease my way out of here, and then take some photos on the way out of smaller things as I get out of here. Okay? This is the abstract shot I was shooting with the 24-200, getting a little more intimate detail. All in all, it's okay. I feel like it could have been a lot better. Really, the conditions really played a big part of me not being able to get into the locations I really wanted to be able to capture this waterfall. Unfortunately, but it's the hand you're dealt sometimes. I quite like this image because it's just pretty minimalist and unique in its own right. But all in all, it's okay. Now with this image, I really do like this one. I like how the water is kind of framed nicely by the ice surrounding it, kind of encased it, and then how it's cascading down onto the large slab of rock down in the bottom of the image, and then on out to the frame. I think this is probably the one image that I do like the most from my time here at this waterfall. It'll be interesting going back in the warmer months to see what kind of images are possible. The ice around the waterfall made it difficult, especially without the proper footwear, to be able to get around and get compositions that could probably really highlight how special this place was. Alright, I've left the waterfall, and I'm going to make my way out of this area. You probably saw the waterfall in the background. I apologize, my mouth is kind of frozen, so it's a little difficult to talk sometimes. I didn't know that until I started a YouTube channel and started in the winter. And these are all lessons you learn. I would like to get a lot more footage of me shooting down there and talking you through the images. But again, part of learning, starting this channel is it's darn hard to run the camera, video, and then do all that while you're cold, and it's water mist is springing on you and all that. So I apologize for that. Hopefully you can see those images. But as you can see behind me though, one thing about Japan is they have these little shrines throughout nature, right? So you'll be hiking through here, and this shrine will be here, and it'll be to some entity, and there'll be some kind of story behind it. And I find these things fascinating because you'll find them in some of the most random places. You'll be hiking, and then someone hauled this in and made this, and there's no, I mean, like when we say old in the US is like 150 years old or 200 years old. Old in Japan, like 1,000 years old. So I find it fascinating to find these things, and that people still come here. And I wish I could read more and understood kanji and hiragana a little better, but yeah, I find it fascinating. So what I do though is I'll go back and I'll look this up, because I have to go down a rabbit hole. I'll go back and look up and see what this is, and what why it's here and how long it's been here. All right, so we're getting out of here. We're gonna head home, but I'll slowly make my way out, and if I find a composition, you'll see that next. All right. Made it back. I'm exhausted, as always. So I wanted to get out, film a quick video this weekend. I initially hadn't planned on getting out, and you know, the things in the world that are kind of crazy right now, I just want to get my mind somewhere else. I'm kind of torn with that, because maybe it should be exactly where it needs to be, which is probably the people that are dealing with the Ukraine invasion. So I'm done here. I think this will be the end of the vlog for this week. I know it was a really quick one and probably wasn't as dramatic as the last one, but I have some plans coming up. I have a little more time off, and I'm going to hit a few more places that are more interesting. They kind of really show Japan's landscape. A lot of it's waterfalls. A lot of it's it's a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. My personal favorite are waterfalls and forest scenes. However, I'm starting to like more of the seascapes. All right, if you enjoy this content, or you want to see if I do improve or not, go ahead and click and subscribe, and stay tuned, and there'll be another video coming out in the next week or two. All right, thank you.